So, a quick introduction to Project 1A Writing Inventory. First, this image of Janus here. Janus is the Roman god of beginnings, transitions, doorways, always configured as two faces, one looking back, one looking ahead. As I mentioned in this assignment, when you read this, learning takes place usually by adding something new to what we already know. So, this is advanced comp, right? English 201. It makes sense then to know what it is you know about comp before you start adding stuff to it, before you become more advanced. So think about all that stuff that's been pounded into your head about writing in school from kindergarten all the way through English 101. Some of that can be really, really useful. Some of it may not be. So we're going to take a look. I'm going to ask you to look at the English 101 outcomes, and they're at the bottom of this page, down here. And I'm going to ask you to reflect on what they mean to you. The outcomes are descriptors of what you're supposed to have learned when you finish a class. In this case, the English 101 outcomes should encompass what you learned even before 101 in high school and prior to that. Of course, in English 101 and in this class, you're going to have to unlearn some stuff, either because it was wrong, that everyone agrees on how to teach writing, or because you learned in a less than effective way. Maybe you had to get rid of something, maybe you had to add something, something like that. So we're going to take a look at English 101 outcomes, see what you know, write out what you figure out. But I'd like to do this in a particular way. In a sense, the first lesson of the class is this. I'm going to really emphasize conscious process of going through the stages of completing the projects. So rather than just saying analyze and reflect on the outcomes from 101, I say spend 30 minutes reading through the outcomes and taking notes, for example. By allotting a comfortable amount of time, you'll be able to go through the phases of writing up this project that I think is going to lead to a successful learning experience. Well, why? Because I'm a professional writer and a writing teacher. I've published a college textbook, I've done a dozen articles in academic journals, half a dozen chapters in other people's books, poetry, short stories, and journals around the country. So I know how writing is done. So I'm going to try to show you this quarter how I would approach these writing assignments we have. And I'm going to do that in the tasks here. So you can see the tasks are broken up in day one, day two, day three. Each of these days takes about 30, 60, 90 minutes, more like 60 to 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours each day, and we're spread over 2 weeks. It's no big deal. You can do these all at, and you can chunk these however you want, but it's a good idea to try to follow the process I've offered. The reason is I found that trying to put too much effort into one day leads to really forced writing. If you can do a good chunk and then set it aside and then come back after kind of the well of creativity fills up again, you're gonna have a much more satisfactory experience. Okay, so that's what we're gonna try to do. I'm really looking forward to see what you guys come up with.